Welcome today on how to brake a Ford. In case you hadn't realized, it doesn't take much. I decided to make this video in effort to explain full floating axles on how to replace the leaking seals. Mind you, this is not for the differential in the yoke and pinion. Not this video, sir. No, this is on the outsides, okay? Outer. Right there! Right there! Fast forwarding real quick, you have the seal on the outside. That big guy right there. Looks like that. This is the new one. I had some leakiness going on and I wasn't sure if it was here. Was it right there? You can see that there's like a little rubber band yeah, gasket right there. So I'm gonna back up right here and I'm gonna assume that you're still trying to take this off. Okay, so you probably got that big ass drum taken off, right? Sucker's heavy. Pops right off. There is no screws or anything. This is a Sterling 10.25. This is not a Dana. This is not a Spicer, some of it call it. This is just a full floating Sterling axle. If you're looking for parts and you're having a hell of a time, just tell them it's a full floating axle and you'll have a lot better luck finding these parts, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Now, it looks like this, right? Now let's say you haven't taken out that axle. All it is those 8 little bolts, and it pops right off like that. Okay, then it'll look like that in the center of it. And then you use this damn thing. This damn thing is called a jam nut removal socket. Looks like this. Okay, part number, holy Jesus, I can't read it. W83008. Yeah, that looks right. Alright, so you got to use this guy to get that jam nut undone, because if you look, there's little teeth. Looks like that. And this specific tool is a specific size, and it's only for full floating axles. Excuse me, tongue twister. And then you just stick them in there like this. Now, you can get these out, but it will be one hell of a fight, and especially if it hasn't been tightened. Now, it's also a good idea to check for movement, moving up and down, left and right, and making sure that these are already set correctly. You just want these things not snug, but sort of snug, and then that's how these work. All the weight is pushed down on the axle tube itself. This is a full floating axle. Again, I think I have another video out, but this one's more specifically on how to remove this and change your seals that are leaking for this. Okay, so lefty-loosey. Now, let's talk about the orientation. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. In case you're wondering, the passenger side looks like that. Just ignore, I'm missing some stuff. Just ignore all that. Lefty-loosey on the passenger side, all right, lefty-loosey removes this jam nut, okay? And here we are on the the driver's side, and this side is righty-loosey, okay? You can kind of see how this works, is you're supposed to be able to, some magic happens, use your tool, it pushes up against there, blah, blah, blah. And righty is loosey on the driver's side. Do mention that. So to go that way, I'm actually tightening it, okay? Follow me so far? Good stuff. Another make a note here, and the axles are different sizes, okay? One side, if you put one in the wrong side, it won't work, and you'll find out very quickly. Okay. Yep, you can see how it looks like that. Green goes in the passenger side. Okay, green, remember right, starboard side. Red would be like left side. Anyways, let's not get too off topic. But if you do get them mixed up, just stick them back in there, and one side will work and the other side will be sticking out too far. You'll figure it out. So now I'm going to remove this. Alright, I have now performed the lefty-loosey on the passenger side, and my jam nut is now loosened. So now I'm just going to reach up in there like that, and it comes right off like that. Now it looks like that. So if you're saying, oh man, it's stuck, it won't come off, it won't come off, it won't come off, trust me on this, mine was stuck on here too, and all it takes is some finagling, some wiggling, and maybe even a little bit of love tapping with a hammer on the back side, because it's actually just being held on. Oh shit. You want to keep your bearings like not dirty. Moving right along. Alright, so then hold the camera for you so you can kind of see what it looks like, and you just pull like that. Okay, pulls off and it looks like that. Alright, so now I'm going to set it just like that, and you can see what the heck we're looking at. Shabam, shabam, shabam. Now, to get these little rubber band type ones off the axles, the seals, I suggest just using a little pick tool like this. and you just pick it off like that. Mind you, if yours has been sitting around, it's collected a little bit of debris and some, just make sure you clean it up before you go sticking it back in. Use some brake cleaner or something like that. Also, if this is hard to get off, you can, and this one is not hard to get off, assuming that this is the original, pops off just like that. Okay, you can always cut it. I'm always going to suggest that. And for that part that I just took off, here is the number. This is the AutoZone number. Now you can put this up on the web and you can find it. This was not really easy to find, but here it is. Haha, here we are. Yeah, buddy, there she is. There's 2 of them that came in that kit. Also, ladies and gentlemen, assuming there's more gentlemen than ladies watching, and hey, unless you got the change. Anyways, moving right along. It's not a bad idea to put a little bit of grease on the stuff when you're putting it back together so it doesn't get pinched and stuff can kind of move around and seat while you're driving it back down the road without getting it snagged or causing some premature damage. So yeah, just kind of put it all over your seals, and yep, don't take much, just a little bit. Now, I'm going to jump over to this guy right here, and this is just as far as taking the seals out. This isn't bearing replacement. Now, you can check all your bearings and stuff, but usually you want to check them for crunchies and make sure they're not damaged or anything like that before you take them off. Now, you can do it by hand too, that's fine, and usually you just don't hear much about these axles. This is, again, a Sterling 10.25, not a Dana, not a Spicer. It is just called a full floating axle, according to AutoZone and many other places I went to and could not find parts. And the part number for this guy right there looks like that. So you're welcome if you're watching this video. Run that part number across the web and you will find exactly what you're looking for. Moving right along, in order to get the seal out was not easy. I basically bought this kit, slide hammer, from Harbor Brake. That's right, Harbor Brake. And I had to tap it in like that. And the seal is supposed to pop up, and I'm doing it. But I can't do it while filming. But all I'm going to do is, well, I guess I can try to... Oh, God! Yeah, it's happening. Totally happening. Just keep on working on that, yeah. Yeah, buddy, there she is. You got a real winner right here, folks. And if you are doing bearing work for whatever reason, or you have to remove this, do not reuse these. You can see that by removing this, I have now damaged this, and it is meant to be disposed of. Where's my trash can? And then that just pulls right out like that. Yep, totally looks like a bearing and race. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of look at it. Yep, looks like a hub. Yep, okay. And as far as getting this put back in, oh, I should stop just for a second, and I should tell you the kit number. If you do have a local Harbor Brake, this is a Pittsburgh slide hammer. Where the hell is the part number? Aha, there it is, 56894. Looks like that. Okay, comes with all sorts of little goodies, and China Special, lasts forever, right? And give me one of those little disconnecting thingies, looks like that, little whatever that is and whatever that does, and one of those and one of that. Moving right along, so especially on this piece, when you're ready to put it back in, just use a little bit of grease, doesn't matter what kind, just something to get it in there. Make sure this is all nice and cleaned up on the inside. Put your grease on here, and then you could just use a board. Just go get a big ass board and little love tap here, little love tap here, and it'll go right in place. And again, when you go putting this back on, it doesn't matter if you have disc brakes or drum brakes. These Sterling axles are pretty much the same. They make minor differences, but we're not going to get into that. But when you go putting this back on, remember just to kind of get it snug as far as the hub goes. And when you go putting the lock ring back in, hey, that's laying right in the grime and grit and gravel. Make sure your area is all clean and everything like that. And you will lose a little bit of fluid. And when you do, the little hole to where you go checking this is over... shit. Yep, there it is. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right there, it's kind of rusty. But make sure your vehicle is level and it's on the ground when you're checking this fluid. Otherwise, when sticking your finger, the fluid should be right at the very top when you go sticking your finger in that cold. Again, the vehicle should be flat, wheels on, axles in, when you go putting the fluid back into the axle, because you will lose some when doing this. You should never have to mess with the back cover. Again, never mess with the back cover when doing this. That is not this in-depth of a repair for the seals. To get this far depends on your setup and if you got to clean up, but it should only take you roughly about 4 to 6 hours to pop this off. If you're an experienced mechanic, you can probably get it done in 1 hour. But yeah, expect your whole Saturday to be spent on this bullshit. Got a little oil on my camera. Well, anyhow, if you're charging somebody to do this job, I don't know, maybe like a couple $100 or something like that. It's not that hard. I would say no more than $500. Wouldn't charge them any more to change the seals on this. So again, when you're putting this on, do not get it over tight. You should be able to move the hub back and forth with your hand when you tighten up the lock ring and the lovely bearing that I dropped on the ground a moment ago. Keep it clean and don't get in a hurry. If not, you can really F something up and cause some serious premature wear with the bearings. So yeah. Hey, I hope this video helped you with this seal replacement on the outers for the Sterling full floating axle. If it didn't, well, go to hell, and I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.